Welcome back to the Mrs. Manifestation channel, and in this video today I'm going to be discussing with you the weight loss secrets that they just won't tell you. And I'm also going to be giving you the mindset shifts that you can make that are going to help you to make your fat loss super easy. So this video is going to be amazing for anybody who is a new mama, who's looking to get back into shape and feels they're ready to do so, because obviously if you have just given birth and you're focusing on your baby and your health and wellness, this is not the time to be watching this video. This is for either mamas or just people who are ready, women who are ready to actually become their best selves. And if you feel in yourself that you're carrying a little bit too much excess weight, then this one is for you. So let's get straight into the video. What I want to help you to understand here is that your mindset, it's the ultimate weight loss hack. You've heard constantly through all these amazing stories about Ozempic and Mounjaro and all the other GLP ones that are just everywhere right now. The main thing that these drugs tend to do is reduce the food noise in the heads of those people who are using them. But what's really happening there is that there is a chemical change via these drugs in the mind that creates that feeling that, oh, they're forgetting to eat, or, oh, they don't really bother about food anymore, it's not a big deal. So if you are one of the people out there who loves the sweet treats, you love the snacks, or maybe you just never really seem to feel full. Maybe like me, when you were young, you were told, finish what's on your plate. You know, we've prepared your meal, it must be finished. If you have that mindset, if you have the mindset where you never truly feel satisfied after a meal, then this is really going to help you, because you'll probably find that this is the reason why you're not quote unquote naturally thin or slim. Because your mindset is the ultimate weight loss hack. So the 3 key secrets that I'm going to be sharing with you today is, number 1, your mind, it controls your results. That is the number 1 key factor. Because let's think about it. If we weren't placing the food in our mouths, we wouldn't be gaining weight. We wouldn't be giving our bodies the energy it needs to survive. So our body would simply be using the stored energy it had until it got to crisis point, and then we start to get unwell. So think about that. If we weren't choosing to eat too much, then this wouldn't be a problem. And that's really what it comes down to. Number 2, consistency, not willpower, wins. And that's a huge relief for some of you probably who think, oh, I have no willpower. It doesn't matter. You don't need willpower. You really don't need willpower. It's just about changing the way you think about things. And I'm going to show you how small habits beat extreme diets, because this is something I've had to learn through years and years and years and years of deprivation and yo-yoing and every diet under the sun. And it just doesn't work. And finally, I'm going to discuss emotional eating and how it can hold you back, because basically that's what we're doing. You need to break free from food triggers in order to allow this weight to just naturally drop off, and that's what it wants to do. So let's get into this video. You're going to love it. Okay, number 1, your mindset controls your results. And I've got here, I want you to really pay attention to the quotation that I've got on the screen here. You are not trying to lose weight. You're not. You're just simply, to be successful and effective at this, you're just becoming the person that naturally stays lean. That's what we're working to do here. Do you really want to spend your whole life on a diet? No, you don't. Do you want to spend your whole life thinking about food at every moment of the day and how you have to stop yourself from going into the cupboard and just snacking all the time? No, you don't. You want to stay naturally healthy and lean. You want to fuel your body with good, nutritious foods. And you just want to be vibrant and fit and healthy and basically fuel your body when you need to and enjoy occasional indulgences when the time is right. So That's the biggest mindset shift that you're going to have to make. If you believe that you're going to deprive yourself, if you feel like you're depriving yourself in any way, then you're not going to do this long term. And it's totally fine if you're thinking, right, okay, but I've got an event, I've got a wedding coming up, I've got this, I've got that, and I want to look my best. That's fine. But I guarantee you that you'll gain the weight back if you're not enjoying what you're doing. If you don't find out how to enjoy and incorporate this way of living into your lifestyle, of being that person who naturally stays lean, then it's not going to happen and it's going to be a constant battle. And I'm sorry, but your life is way too short for it to be a constant battle. So I'm going to tell you the secret here. If you believe that losing weight is a struggle, then it will be. But if you see yourself as someone who makes healthy choices naturally, and you start to train your mindset to think that way about yourself, success is going to come so easily for you, because your identity drives your actions. And this is the key. Your identity is going to drive every single thing that you do. And that's why I'm always talking about self-concept, self-work, to essentially allow yourself to reframe the way you think about yourself and who you are. Let me give you a quick reality check. If you enjoy the way you eat right now, say you're having like 3 meals a day, say they're a little bit on the large side, say you have snacks here and there, and so therefore that's all it takes to carry excess fat and body weight. That's all it takes. If you're basically towards the latter end of the scale in terms of how you feel about yourself, if you've had to maybe go up a jean size, a dress size, if all of this is happening and you're not quite happy because you're like, I just don't feel my best, you don't have to have words for that, but if you don't feel your best and you're trying to get back to your most healthy, fit self, and you can see that maybe you need to tone up a bit and drop a little bit, then what that means is that your inner self knows that with that reality comes some sense of happiness, joy, freedom. The key is that your mindset will control everything that you do. So if you see yourself as being somebody who feels a bit frumpy, who feels a bit overweight, who dresses in a bigger jean size, who's constantly pulling and tugging at her clothes to get them to look good on you, who's kind of always thinking about things to wear that are going to disguise the part of you or the parts of you that you're not that confident with, your focus is going on that. Your focus is not going on doing the things that make the change. It's really, really simple. If you currently love the way that your diet is and the way that you're eating and your lifestyle, if you're not moving that much and if you're eating a little bit more than you should be, and then you need to accept the fact that this is the weight you're going to stay. Taking the drugs, it could be totally beneficial for some people. It really could be. I'm not here to debate that. But what I do want to open your eyes to is the fact that you could actually stay lean, thin, beautiful, feel your best self without having to do any of that. Because you're so powerful. You don't actually need that. You can skip the drugs because you're capable of doing that. Now, I'm clearly not a doctor. I'm Mrs. Manifestation. This is informational. This is to inspire you and motivate you. But if you're currently seeking a medical professional advice, then stick to what they're telling you. What do I know, right? Take it from that perspective. But I'm just telling you what works. And I'm telling you the missing link. There's been a lot of things that I've hopefully dropped, a lot of mindset shifts for you that will help you to understand and realize that it's not hard. It's just shifting your mindset. Now let's move on to the second point here. And yeah, I've got images up here of women who, in my opinion, are stunning. I do. And I'm not going to apologize for that for 1 second. And I didn't actually, in this slide deck, I didn't actually go for anyone who is, let's say, really, really plus size, like for the body positivity movement. And the reason for that is everyone has a different idea of what looks beautiful, amazing, all of that. And it just so happens that I personally believe that when I'm not carrying so much excess body fat, that I feel my best. So I hope that in some way my words inspire you, but you can swap the images out if these don't resonate with you. You can just listen, okay? Because I know this is going to help you. But really what I need you to understand, as I mentioned before, that consistency, not willpower, wins. It's 100% about consistency. I can tell you, I've probably been a yo-yo dieter for about 20 odd years. Every diet that came out, I would try it. I've tried all types of things. I've tried the gym, I've tried everything. But the secret to lasting success and happiness, and in my opinion, wellness for myself, is when I'm doing everything in moderation, not to extremes. So, some light exercise. And by light exercise, I just mean walking. Maybe lifting a few weights, or a really heavy baby like I do every day. Walking up and down the stairs, all of that neat activity that you're getting in without even realizing you're doing it. It's like choosing to park farther away. It's like choosing to take the stairs up and down. Instead of thinking, oh, I'll do that later. No, just run up and down the stairs. It gives you more steps and it gives you more chance to like sculpt that booty of yours that you're wanting to make gorgeous. It's about having a routine where in the morning, before I go up to get my son, I'll do 30 squats just because that's my routine and I do it. It doesn't help, it doesn't hinder me in any way, but the key is it's doing little tiny things throughout the day and doing them consistently. How hard is it to do 30 squats before you go up to get your baby from his bed in the morning? And guess what? If you're anything like me, your daughter will come in, see you doing this, and she will join in and think it's great fun. And you're also setting her up for success in life. Never once mentioning anything about diet or anything. You're just doing something fun in the morning to keep you fit and healthy and get strong. Help your children with these things too. Use positive terminology. You know, diets fail, but habits succeed. It's what you do every day. I have recently got into the habit of having snacks with my lunch, like after my lunch. So I have currently do intermittent fasting. I eat 2 meals a day. So around about 12 o'clock and around about 4 o'clock, 4:30, I have my second meal with the children. And I basically just eat 2 meals. But what I was also doing is I was having, for a while there, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just have breakfast. Maybe I'll just have porridge with the children and some berries. And then I would maybe add some peanut butter. And I'm like, does it really make me feel good? Not really, because I feel a little bit more bloated. I feel like I've got a little bit more, I feel like I've definitely gained a few pounds over the last few weeks. Don't feel good, so I don't do it. I don't believe we need to stuff ourselves constantly to feel good and for it to be healthy. They say breakfast is the best meal of the day. Yeah, it is. But when do you break your fast? I break mine at 12. Because you know why? I give my body a chance to really catch up and clean itself out in the morning. I don't keep stuffing it from the get-go. When I'm really busy anyway, I'm not winning in any way. I sit down and have a green tea first thing in the morning when I feed my baby. And when I'm sitting with my daughter, when she's eating, I'm sitting in the same room and we're chatting away and I'm giving her probably more attention than if I was to try and eat breakfast at the same time. So just try and replace things like one thing at a time. Just say, okay, so I'm not going to have my breakfast at this time today. I'm just going to break my fast a little bit later. And just say, well, what will I replace that with? Okay, I'll have whatever your favorite tea is. Don't start saying, oh, I have this frothy latte and I'll have, because it could be like a couple of 100 calories anyway. You're not really doing yourself. If you were going to have the big chocolatey frothy latte with all these syrups, or you were going to have a bowl of porridge or berries or something, hands down the porridge is better for you. And the berries. But if you can actually say, well, I'll just have a black coffee, or I'll just have a green tea, or I'll just have something else that's going to be helping your body to still maintain its proper function. It's going to give it a rest, give your digestive system a chance to really start clearing itself out. And then you do that. Then by the time, even like myself, I make the meals, I prepare everything for the rest of the day around about 10:30. And yes, sometimes I'm tempted to say, I could just have a little snack here. No, but I don't. I'm just like, no, you're just preparing the food. You don't have to eat something because you're just going to give yourself a bad habit. So don't do it. And I have water in front of me. And on that note, I'm going to drink some water right now. My husband hates the Stanley Cup. I was given as a gift when I was about to have my second baby, and it was the best thing ever. And I'm topping it up like 3 times a day because I always drink so much water, and it's the best thing ever. And it's so good for you. And I choose to drink sparkling water. It tastes beautiful and it just is so refreshing. So give that a try instead and see if that helps you. But if you stay consistent, think about it. Like I said at the start, if you literally didn't eat at all for 4 weeks, and I'm certainly not condoning that because that's super unhealthy and it's really bad for you. If you had to do that, would you gain weight? No, you wouldn't. You know that. It's not going to happen. Would you lose weight? Yes, you would. Would it all pile back on because your body's like, oh God, you're in survival mode. Anything she eats, I'm storing it. Probably, yeah. So that's not healthy. But if you actually just say, well, I'm just going to reduce my intake to only what I need, and then my body is actually going to actually start using the fat that I have as fuel. Amazing. It doesn't need to be hard. Don't think of it as hard. Just think, well, look, every single day, I have this, say you're having like a muffin, or you're having flapjacks, or you're having something that's not healthy, and a latte, and this and that, or a croissant, and whatever, pain au chocolat, don't even let me think about almond croissant. But if you're doing something like that for breakfast every day, and you're going to have one of those big coffees, you've already had a huge portion of calories, which if you just stop doing that one meal alone, if you change that to something healthier, maybe to fruit or whatever you like, if you just took that one meal already in a month, you're down so many pounds, because it's just a huge chunk of your daily allowance. You don't realise that if you're in the situation where you've got a lot to lose. But trust me, like, replace one thing at a time. Just say, well, I'm going to replace that really big calorific coffee with a very low fat option. Day one, you're going to love it. No, you're going to hate it. You're going to be like, oh, I want my sugar fix. But just be like, look, we kind of think we want it, but really we want to be healthy and gorgeous, and we want to feel our best. So let's swap it out for one day. Let's see how it goes. And if you really have to, then distract your mind by doing something else. Next day, oh, okay, it's coffee time. I'll just go for the black coffee again. It wasn't so bad yesterday. By day 5, you're not even thinking about it. It's just the new thing you do. And if you can tie that to your dream visualization of yourself and who you really want to be, it's done. Totally done. Easy. It's easy. And then if you say, like myself, I used to sit at this point and I would have a tea or a coffee, and I would also have a cereal bar. Now that could be 200 or 300 calories. And I'm not saying I'm obsessed with calories, but I'm just shedding light on the fact that, well, how many calories equates to a pound? I'm sure it's like 3,000. So say it's 300 calories, you do the math, okay? Because I'm not gonna, because I'm tired, it's Friday, I'm not gonna do it. But really, how many of those calorie bars, whatever they are, equates to a pound? It's not that many till you realise. So think about it in that respect. Is it 10? I don't even want to embarrass myself right now, because I'm not thinking about the maths, I'm thinking about the message that I want to give to you. But it's not that many. So consistency, not willpower, wins. Relying on motivation is going to fail every time. But instead, it's just about building small, repeatable habits that make healthy eating and movement automatic. Long-term success comes from what you do daily. It's not what you do perfectly. Do the daily, even if it's not perfect. Who cares? Who cares about proving that you're some like boss babe and you do a harder workout than anyone else and you eat the most nutritious, low-calorie, clean thing ever? It doesn't matter about that. It really matters that you went one step in the right direction today, and tomorrow you're going to do the same. And you kind of enjoyed it, so you're going to do it again. Stop trying to prove yourself to other people. Nobody needs to know. This is about you. Make it easy and fun for yourself. So finally, emotional eating. How it can hold you back. It can hold you back because what you need to understand is that it's not hunger, it's habit. Oh, let me tell you, I am probably the biggest emotional eater ever. I feel like a cup of tea and maybe something sweet treat, oh, that would be divine for me. It just makes me feel better. If you are anything like, and I'm not ashamed to admit that, a cup of tea and a nice piece of chocolate, when I say piece of chocolate, a few pieces of chocolate, or something really nice and lovely, that sounds lovely. It's emotional eating. It's not hunger. It's not about that. We've just had our lunch. We can't possibly be hungry, okay? So let's just get real with ourselves. It's about our emotions. What are we doing here with the snacks? We're self-soothing. So we're saying to ourselves, oh, I don't actually feel 100% right now in some way. Some part of me feels that something is lacking. So therefore I need to make myself feel better. And how are you going to do that? A quick fix dopamine. Because you're going to go into the cupboard and you're going to find a sweet treat or something delicious that you think is yummy. It's not about that, okay? It's not about the hunger. It's about the habit. Because if you do that every single day, you're going to find, like me, that it's a kind of difficult habit to break. I'm not that bad, but I'm aware that if I just rejig these things, which I am doing right now, which is why I'm sharing it with you, because I love to share these hacks. These are what have worked for me in the past. They're tried and true habits. They are tested over time and they always work. And genuinely, it's just about the habits. So it's not hunger. It's just your habit. When you master your emotions, you will master your weight. So food isn't just fuel these days. It's often tied to stress, boredom, and emotions. And if you're tired, you're going to be ravenous. You're going to feel it. You'll get hangry. If you're anything like me. When you're tired, when you've just not had the best day, sometimes it's just going to make you feel that bit better. And I get it, be kind to yourself. And I always feel you should be kind to yourself. But it's about being kind to your future self, your dream self. It's not always being kind to the monkey brain who basically wants you to just do everything right here, right now to get the quick result. What you need to say to yourself is in those moments, oh, you need a hug, don't you? You have had a hard day. You are doing amazing. Future you is going to look and feel amazing even on these hard days. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and either have something super low calorie that's not going to make a big dent if it's not going to tempt you to have more of something else, or you're just going to say, do you know what? Oh, don't we just love ourselves so much? We do. We are not going to allow ourselves to give in right now, to give up on something that is so much better later. So how do we do that? What we'll do instead, we will get some delicious sugar-free gum and we're going to take a lovely, we're going to have a chew at that. And we're going to trick our brain for now into thinking that it's delicious and sweet and all the rest of it, but it's not going to impact us, and it still allows us to be properly hungry and allows our stomach and our cravings to adapt properly till the next mealtime comes along. So you can almost give your monkey brain a little I'll give them a little compromise, give them a little something like that, or sometimes myself, like with the diet soda, if you're feeling like now, but definitely don't get into a habit of that every day. So bad for your health and your beauty. But from time to time, if you're really feeling it, just allow yourself something like that. Allow yourself to just say, oh, you know what, you've had one of those days. Let's just have a nice, some sort of a sweet treat or something that's not going to impact your health. It's not going to impact you long term. It's just a little something to ease the pressure at that point. But be kind to yourself like that and say, you know, we are so beautiful. We're not giving in to these habits and temptations anymore because they're really not serving us. The only person in the world they're serving is the economy and the food companies, the big food corporations who are basically lacing our food with the most delicious tastes and things, all sorts of things that are really bad for us long term, essentially just to pocket more cash for themselves. So we don't want that. So we want to really nurture our body. We want to say, no, this isn't going to be worth it long term. And it's hard right now, but it's going to be easier tomorrow because I've said no today, because we are saying no, because we are rewiring our pathways in our brain where we're actually making the right choice for us long term, then it's going to become easier and easier and easier. But if you keep putting it off, it's going to become more difficult and difficult and difficult, and that's just what it's going to be. The people who are thin and slim and known as naturally that way, they're just doing all of these things on a daily basis. It's just that you don't know because people don't discuss these things. So I want to go back to my final thoughts for today. Fast weight loss, it starts in your mind. When you shift your mindset, your body will follow. And you've noticed I barely mentioned anything about the gym. And the reason for that is, if you've struggled with your weight for a short time or for years, the problem isn't going to the gym. The problem is the way that you're eating, probably. If you're on certain drugs and various things because of medication, then you really need to give yourself some love and care and get through this time and not bother about that. Okay? It's about healing your body first. But if you're just a general person who's in pretty good health, but she knows she needs to tone up and just feel her best self, then I know that these tips are going to help you. If weight loss feels like a battle to you, it's just because the mindset that you've been using all this time is not working for you. So shift your thinking and just start focusing on habits, the ones I mentioned before, and just a new habit every day or every few days until you settle in. Before you know it, you are actually becoming that person you dreamed of. It's really not hard. It's just shifting out the habits. The only thing that's going to hurt a little bit for the first few days. But I promise after those first few days, it's just going to get easier and easier and easier. And you want to make it easy for yourself. You don't want to do it all at once. It's just too hard. And it's like you're never going to stick at it. So just say, well, today I'm just going to swap my calorific coffee for the low fat one, the one that's fat free, the one that's just like 2 calories. That's what I'm going to do today. And we'll do that for a week. And then I guarantee you that by the end of the week and the next time you go for coffee, you're not even going to enjoy that thick, sugary, sweet coffee. It is going to make you feel sick. You are not going to want it anymore because it doesn't taste good, because you see it for what it is. It is wild. You see it for a dessert. You're like, oh, I don't want dessert at this time in the morning. So promise you these changes, they happen so fast when you just look at them positively and you get started. And I really hope this helps you. And the reason I'm sharing this video is because I wish that somebody had told me these things down the line. And I know that I'll be able to use this video as well if I ever in the future feel the need to go back and do something like that. It's long term for me. I've never fluctuated hugely since I decided that I wanted to have a specific body shape, weight, all of that. It doesn't ever fluctuate. And yeah, I can tone up here and there and it's not a huge thing, but it's never like I have to lose an insane amount. It's just like sometimes if I go lax and I go a bit more relaxed with the habits, that's when it all slips. So it's all down to your habits, and how do you get to those positive habits? Well, it's just by the self-talk. It's being so caring to yourself. It's just by realizing that it actually is easy, and people only want you to think it's hard because they profit from you thinking it's hard. So if you were to say you're going to go on all these GLP-1s and start, spending maybe 100 upwards a month, it's really not, benefiting them to tell you that it's actually quite easy to turn off the switch in your mind yourself. But if it does help people, great. I'm not here to debate that, as I said. Fine. But for the people that really care about making these changes from within, then I know this video and the tips, if you implement them, it's going to change your life. So when you do all those things, you find weight loss actually becomes effortless, and you just are a slim person and it doesn't bother you. You know how to get back on track, and you certainly don't indulge yourself. And I want to, before I go, there's one final thought that I want to give you. Because this has really helped me massively, don't put food on a pedestal. So one of the things my daughter and I love to do is baking. And she, for example, will say to me, oh, what are we baking this weekend? Or she'll say, oh, for example, midweek, she'll say, oh, can I have some cheesecake? Because if we make cheesecake, if we made whatever at the weekend, that's another mindset shift. I don't leave it there and then we eat the whole thing. I'm like, right, okay, well, I'll maybe divide it up into 3 portions and I'll put them in the freezer. And then maybe the following weekend, I don't have to bake. We have dessert sorted. It's something we do on the weekend. So that's what I just do. We don't have it, oh, well, we've made the cake, so we must eat it all. It's like, it's there. We can have some another time. Maybe at first, if you're not used to that, that might be insane to you. And for me, for somebody who used to idolize sugar, for me to even say that, I'm realizing now, wow, I must have come a long way in terms of how I do think about food. So you can 100% get there. If I can, you can. Because I was taught and trained when I was younger, oh my God, sugar is bad. We don't eat like that. We don't do this. And then what did it make me do? Totally go crazy when I had the freedom to do so. Realizing nobody has to monitor me. I can do whatever I want. I can eat what I want, when I want. And that's when it all creeps in. So I do say, and I do teach my daughter, okay, so it's in the freezer. So she knows that. So she'll say, okay, Mama, I'm going to have some cheesecake for dessert. And I'm like, are you? And I'll say, but remember, it's not the weekend. At the weekend, because I try to teach her about balance. She's only 5. So I'll say, well, we can have maybe a yogurt, or we can have a piece of fruit, or we can have something like that at the weeknights if you still feel you want something like that, but we don't do it every night. And I also tell her the reason why we leave it for the weekends is because we do most things healthy during the week, and if we really want to have some chocolate or have some this, I do not deprive her, and I don't go low fat. I don't because I'd rather have good quality ingredients, things that are good for our body, things that are really yummy, rather than that low fat rubbish that tastes terrible anyway. I just so much rather do that. That's just the way I am. And I don't believe it's good, all those diet options. It's just no. So she knows the weekend is when we do this. But you do not put the dessert on a pedestal like, at the weekend it's going to be so amazing because I can finally have cheesecake. No, just make it something you do at the weekend. So just say to yourself, okay, so at the weekend, our routine is, again, it's a habit, right? A routine, a habit. At the weekend, we have whatever it may be, something really indulgent and delicious. I do this after the children go to bed with my husband on the weekends. We have dessert then, when we can sit down, chat, relax, make it about having a nice time versus the meal is finished and we all eat cake, or we'll do this and it's done. It's like more of a thing we do together as part of the weekend. So it's not a big deal, it's just This is what we do. And she understands that too. So when you start putting all these things on a pedestal, like, oh, I'm going to have all this amazing stuff, I'm going to have this cheat meal, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. Stop calling it a cheat meal. Just you eat slightly differently at the weekend. It doesn't mean you include all the different snacks back in. It doesn't mean you go absolutely wild and you overeat and stuff yourself so you feel sick. It just means on the weekend, you maybe have slightly more indulgent meal in the evening, 1 or 2 nights a week. Maybe you have dessert 1 or 2 nights a week at the weekend, and it's not going to kill you. It's a much healthier way to think about things. It's just something we do versus, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. Don't be excited about it. Just make it an option for you. Eventually, just changing that thought in your mind to take it or leave it versus, oh my God, I can't wait. Just think that way. Just be like, oh, I could take it or leave it. Don't really care. Not that excited by it, but we do it because we do it. And what you'll find is the more healthily you eat during the week, it's just going to be so easy to eat healthily at the weekend because you'll be like, do I really want this? I always say, for example, I can have a breakfast with the children on the weekend if I want to, but I don't always want to. I sometimes would rather not. Sometimes I do. It's just the way it is. So hopefully these tips have helped you to think about the things that you can do to basically become the dream version of yourself physically. And what I have is this amazing meditation. It's a visualization meditation. You can get it on mrsmanifestation.com/goddess. It's a free gift. Step into your inner goddess. And basically what this visualization meditation will do, it will help you to visualize your dream self. And it will allow you to start to rewire your mind to do the things that person does, that version of you. So to be the best version of you means making totally different choices to what you're doing right now if you're not already living your dream life, if you don't feel you're already your dream self. So this is what it's all about. So step into your inner goddess by downloading the meditation and playing it every single morning. As you get ready, it doesn't take any effort whatsoever. Pop it on in the background and you're going to see how confident, how radiant you feel literally overnight. Okay? That's my biggest tip to you for today. It's about your mindset. So download the meditation. It's going to help you so much. And you can check out all the latest offers at mrsmanifestation.com because I'm changing things there all the time. There's loads of amazing freebies there for you too. But I just want to leave you with the takeaway that it's all in your mind. And, at that quotation, the all is mind. That's it. It's only in your mind. And if you can work out how to get your mind on board, everything is easy. It's not impossible for you to be your dream weight. It's not impossible for you to look a certain way. It's very, very possible. It just depends on the actions you're taking because we have the law of cause and effect. That's it. It's nothing. So it's so possible for you. Please let me know below your biggest takeaway. And if you've struggled with this for a while, let me know. I also want to know what's your biggest challenge at the moment because I love creating content that helps you. This is why I do this. So please let me know in the comments future content that you want to see. Don't forget to subscribe because I want to grow an incredible community of women who just support each other to become their best selves. The type of women who are here because they know they have one life. They are here to make it happen. That's what this channel is all about. And the time on my phone is just 1444. So I'm going to leave you with those beautiful angel numbers, and that message for you is 444. And I'm so excited. Let's just quickly find out what that number is all about. I am going to be doing something really exciting with angel numbers very soon. So essentially, the number 444 is all about stability, clarity, and decisiveness. And wait till you hear this. Success. You are about to make a big decision, achieve a goal, or gain more control over your life. How amazing is that? So by listening to this, if you implement the things that I've told you, if you take my example and adapt it so that it works for you, you're going to see that change happen. This is so interesting. Manifestation, your desires are about to come true, but you need to put in the work. I am not joking. That is insane. That is an insane message, a divine message from the angels. Interesting that the clock said 14:44, and I was able to give you this message just before we leave the video. I'm also going to give you the abundance one as well. You're about to experience success, wealth, and abundance. And did you know that how you look, of course you know this, how you look reflects so much on how you feel, reflects so much on your confidence and how other people perceive you and the success that you have, whether we like it or not. Not everyone is like us in terms of they feel energy. So this is very exciting. And I want to leave you with the final point today, which is just to motivate you and tell you that the next month is going to pass anyway. But at the end of this month, if you stick to this, if you make those small shifts every day, you could look and feel like an entirely different woman. You could look like the dream woman that you were born to be. So let the time pass. Do the easy work, make the simple shifts, and comment below if you're struggling, because I am more than happy to help you in the comments. So have an amazing day. Beautiful. Download the meditation, and I'll see you in the next video.